All right, I just got done watching an interview with John Fury there on Seconds Out. It was an interesting one. He touched on certain things about primarily what we're going to focus on is Tyson Fury and his camp, but what John Fury was touching on in it. He also talked about Tommy Fury. He mentioned Roy Jones and actually said that fight ain't happening next. Thank God for that. No, none of us wanted to see that. He mentioned that Tommy Fury next year, we'll wait and see what happens. Mentioned Jake Paul. Spoke quite highly of Jake Paul, to be fair. Saying basically, yeah, look, he's fighting boxers and we may very well do that fight down along the lines, a rematch. Not some speaking so highly about KSI, said that fight will never happen again. But in terms of Tyson, which is primarily what we want to talk about, a few things. He was saying that Tyson needs roughly 2 to 3 months of a camp. Now, bear in mind, the fight is, well, after tomorrow, 2 months away. So he needs 2 months of a camp, but the fight is 2 months away anyway, so they've got exactly 8 weeks. He's saying 2 to 3 months. Some people are a bit worried. They're saying, oh, is he kind of getting ready, or at least, having it there? Well, we said a couple of months ago that Tyson needed more time, hence the reason why we're moving the fight back. I'm only speculating with that. I'm not saying that's what will happen, but that's what some people are speculating on. He said that the camp is akin to a circus. He also refuted any claims that he wants to be the main guy in Team Fury. Now, John Fury, in some interviews, John Fury knows boxing. He gets it. He loves being part of his son's team, definitely. I've always felt that he wanted to be the head guy in that team. Even though he might not say, he'll say like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to be the head trainer, blah, 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 blah. I think deep down he does. I think deep down he wants to take over the reins. And you've seen that over the course of probably the last decade, you've really seen that. So when he says things like that, I don't see much truth in that. He speaks not too highly of Sugar Hill Stewart, and that's going back a while now. That's going back to earlier this year when Sugar Hill let the cat out of the bag that he was in the UK to train Lawrence Okolie, not Tyson Fury, and was going straight back to the UK. John Fury had been speaking scathingly of him since then, but he was having a go at everyone in the team. Having a go at the strength and conditioning coach, having a go at the nutritionist, having a go at Tyson just for his conditioning. Not saying that Tyson is going to lose or anything like that, but just having a go at everything that is happening in the camp that he's not happy with. And when the interviewer said, well, why don't you say anything? He said, well, he doesn't listen to me. Which I do find that interesting. That's interesting if that's true, that no matter what John says, Tyson's like, well, you're in the team, but I ain't going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to Sugar Hill. I'm going to listen to this guy, this guy, this guy. And he was saying that basically against Ngannou, his conditioning was poor, which it was, certainly was. He didn't do enough training. He didn't look himself. And he was, his B game got him through that fight, right? But it won't always happen. He said if that was Alexander Usyk, different story. And I completely agree. John Fury does at times speak sense. When he really lets it all out and he's 100% honest, as close to it, he does speak a lot of sense. And there was a lot of things he was saying there that I definitely agree with. One thing that I do... Right. So he was saying that for this Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight, he wants Fury to be like his old self, the moving Tyson Fury. He said the way Sugar Hill Stewart is working with Tyson now, he's trying to make Tyson a power puncher. And that's not Tyson's style. I do agree with that. I do agree that Tyson, when he's moving on the front foot, when he's trying to walk guys down, it's not his natural style. That's not naturally what he is as a fighter. But I think Sugar Hill is doing that, and I think Tyson as well is doing it more out of necessity than actual choice. I think for Tyson Fury, he knows himself, the best style for him is the Fury we saw against Klitschko. John Fury says that if we get the Tyson who fought Francis Ngannou, or certainly the Tyson that we have under Sugar Hill Stewart, who was looking to walk opponent down, a bit like he did against Deontay Wilder more so in the third fight, because he was very good in the rematch, but the third fight there was a lot of shaky moments there. He said we'll get a fight akin to Michael Spinks versus Jerry Cooney. Now, that's a bit of a poor comparison because, Jerry Cooney was a different fighter altogether. He wasn't as tall as Tyson. He was very stiff, very robotic. He could punch a lot. He could punch very well, but he was nowhere near as talented. He was nowhere near as big, and his chin was dreadful. And unlike Tyson Fury, he didn't have the recovery powers that Tyson does. I mean, you go and look at that fight with, the fight with Michael Spinks. Michael Spinks stops him in 5 rounds. Michael Spinks wasn't a big puncher, and he had Jerry Cooney and all sorts of bother. You look at Cooney throughout his career, though. I mean, George Foreman, when they fought, it was a jab that actually dropped him originally in that second round. Foreman hits him with a right hand over the side of the head, and he goes to throw a jab, overhand right. He misses with the overhand right because the jab did all the work for him. Foreman had a heavy jab, though, and then obviously he goes and finishes him off then with the combination after a vicious knockout if you've never seen Foreman Cooney. He likens it to that. Look, I doubt it would be quite as one-sided as that if we get Fury coming in, trying to walk Usyk down on the front foot using his jab, looking to throw power shots. I doubt it'll be as one-sided as that. It might, in the long run, have some similar trajectory in a sense of Usyk is having an easy time finding Tyson, but I don't think it's going to be quite like Michael Spinks versus Jerry Cooney. What he's saying, though, which I'm going back onto, I agree when he says that that's not Tyson's natural style. I agree with him there. But I think that's down to necessity. John Fury is saying that Tyson's only 35. He has loads of time left. He could go on for years and stuff like that. And he's kind of almost like it's like for him, like, why can't he be the Fury that fought Klitschko? I think that Fury is gone. That Tyson is gone. That version of him is gone. I think that the abuse he's put his body through over the years, especially during the layoff, means that version of Tyson is long gone. And that's why he's with Sugar Hill. That's why he's fighting the way he is, because it's out of necessity. Because that style, he doesn't have the legs to do it. I don't think his body... John Fury is saying that the camp is a circus. It's this, it's that, Tyson's conditioning, etc. I do wonder if Fury's injuries are worse than we... No, I know Alan Babbitt just spoken about that, but I wonder if John Fury is maybe not even aware of how bad his body is in terms of injury ridden to that extent. Because I wonder with Tyson, is it... Because, look, he said it himself in the past, sometimes he's not trained the hardest for fights, but that was then, this is now. Is it a case of wanting to train as hard as you can, knowing what's on the line, but your body just physically can't do it, and the strength and conditioning coaches, the trainer Sugar Hill, are having to actually kind of work around that? Is that what it is? Maybe John Fury is looking and just thinking, brute force. Why can't you just soldier through? Your knees are sore, just soldier through. Your joints are sore, just soldier through. Do this and be like the old Tyson. When that old Tyson isn't there, and you're going to do some serious injuries if you just try and soldier through. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. I'm only just trying to kind of speculate here. But that's what John Fury was saying in the interview. He's obviously picking Tyson to win. He just wants to see improvements in the camp. All right. And look, John Fury is a guy who does know boxing. He was able to look at Tyson post the Otto Wallin fight and say changes have to be made. Those changes were made. Now he's saying it again. Before it was a case of Ben Davison was trying to have Tyson like his old self, lose weight, get him down as light as you can, have him box like his old self. It was apparent that wasn't going to work. He just didn't have the legs for that. So John Fury was the one who was like, he needs to change it up. I don't know if it was John's idea necessarily to go to Sugar Hill, but that's what Tyson's done. And now he's going on to another extreme saying, oh no, he needs to be like his old self. Well, it's one or the other. I don't think we can ever get Tyson back to that old Tyson who fought Klitschko. I think that a combination of the two is really your best bet. The guy who, when he needs to, he's going to walk you down, and in patches, he could be able to get on his bike and move, pop a jab, use his feet. But I don't think he has them for 12 rounds. I don't think he has them for a good bit of a fight nowadays. And I think that really, he's going to need to be at his absolute best against Alexander Usyk, because Alexander Usyk is already in training, as I'm sure Tyson Fury is. But some would argue maybe that Alexander Usyk is ahead in terms of his preparation. Again, Usyk is someone never out of shape, always lives their life, always disciplined. Contrast that to Tyson Fury, it catches up with you. Even before he had that long layoff, he was known as a guy who fluctuated in between fights. It's not like he's only had that layoff and that's the only time he's ever fluctuated. No, it's happened before. It's happened loads of times in his career. It's even happened post the layoff. It's never gone to the extreme of him weighing close to 400 pounds. But he's left fights, put on weight, had to lose it again, gained it, lose it. all of that catches up with you. Maybe to a heavyweight like Tyson Fury, it doesn't catch up with you as quick as someone like, we'll say, a Billy Joe Saunders who's having to make weight, but it does eventually. And as I said, with some of his training, the running uphill, he talked about, or was it Ben Davison, back in 2018, about him running up some mountain in Spain. A guy nearly 400 pounds at the time, 6'8", 6'9", the impact, the damage that's going to do on your joints. He was saying that George Foreman was, 80 odd fights and won the world title. Yeah, but he had a 10-year layoff. He didn't have a punishing career. He didn't fluctuate in between fights, certainly in his prime. He was always in good shape. Tyson's done all that. It's different. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know yours. John Fury interview with seconds out. I recommend you go watch it. Come back. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that this fight is even going to happen? Are they really starting to sow the seeds now for an inevitable, maybe not say a pullout altogether, but a push back? Let me know your thoughts. I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, I'll leave you with that. Peace.